Hi, Bjorn and Presley. I am so excited to help you plan your wedding.
Hi, I'm so excited. Same here.
Great.
Happy Friday.
Yep, happy Friday. Okay, so today what I want to do is typically in an initial planning call, we would be talking about, locations and venues, the fact that other people are going to be picking your location for you, so the country first, and we want to be able to be prepared for then picking the right venues for you in those countries. So I'm going to ask a bunch of questions that are along those lines, and then we'll talk about some other things too, because it's important for me to know, certain aspects. So let's start with kind of the venue. So are you thinking of having children at the wedding, or not? Oh, darn, Priestley, I can't hear you.
Sorry.
There.
We were thinking maybe no one under 10, but I guess like if we did a resort where they didn't allow that, we'd be okay with that. Yeah.
Okay, so you could have children from 10 to like 18 in the
Yeah.
consideration. Okay, that's
Yeah,
great to
but
know.
if not, that's totally fine because we'll be doing a like reception kind of back at home. So
Okay, perfect. Do you want it to be more of an all-inclusive resort where the price that your guests pay to come it includes the food, or do you want it to be more of a typical standard kind of resort hotel?
I mean all inclusives are great. I love all inclusives, but I think we would be okay with anything. Yeah, it
Okay.
kind of depends if we find the right place. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we do love the all inclusives though. But yeah, it depends on if you have really cool place in mind that you guys have worked with or love. Yeah, we're pretty open to it. Presley and I usually go to the all inclusives just because it's really nice. Don't have to worry about it once you're there at all. Kind of
Yeah.
just good to go for the week.
Yeah, that is absolutely true about an all-inclusive. You don't have to worry. You're good to go.
Yeah.
You can just enjoy and relax. You don't have to worry about maybe you have to worry about picking which restaurant on site, but you don't have to worry about going off site or any of that fun stuff. Okay, perfect. When we look at the actual ceremony, because this is really important, do you want your feet in the beach, or would you prefer to have, like on the sand, or would you prefer to have it where you're looking at the ocean, but maybe not being in the sand?
Yeah, on the beach.
Okay, so a beach wedding it is. Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna look at and try to find a location that has that beach front for you.
Awesome.
Um, okay, perfect. What about your guest count? Where do you think, and one of the things I like to kind of counsel people on is this can go either way. Your guest count can either be really high. So if you're inviting 150 people, all 150 people come, not normal for a destination wedding. It's usually somewhere between, 70 and 75%. But what are your thoughts on A, how many people you're going to invite? Oh, I love it. I wish we could take your dog with us. We'll have to get your dog incorporated into the wedding. Oh, I can't hear you again.
I would love that. It's got him involved.
Yes, we'll definitely get him involved, maybe in engagement pictures or some way, because I know, having talked to you previously, that your dog is important. So we'll definitely figure that out.
Yeah.
Great. So tell me a little bit about guest count. Where are you thinking, how many people are you thinking you're going to invite? And then how many do we think are actually going to attend?
I would say we're probably going to invite 150
Okay.
or like 100 probably. Yeah, but we're planning on I don't know around like 50 to 75 probably coming. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's
So yeah, we
probably
still need to work that out. I've been reaching out to people to get a solid group that's for sure will be there. So right now they've confirmed like 40 or so. Yeah.
okay, that's perfect. So we will definitely, when we look at venues, we'll do venues that range anywhere from, 40 up to 100 people.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Great. All right. So tell me a little bit about aesthetics. I know from your interviews on the contest that flowers are really important to you. Yep. Talk to me a little bit about colors. And the reason I'm asking this is because there are some venues, if you're looking at a spot that has like a red canopy, right? And you're wanting to do orange, okay, maybe it works, but maybe it doesn't. So when we go and look at properties and think through properties, we want to make sure they're going to work with your aesthetics as well.
We've been looking for like very bright colors. Um,
I'm not too picky on the colors, but we just want like bright.
Brights. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
bright.
agree. Kind of like, I don't know, like oceany,
yeah,
beach colors,
yeah,
right? I'm gonna leave that up to Presley more because I don't care as much about that, to be
Okay.
honest.
I have like a Pinterest board. I don't. Do you want me to show you?
Yes.
Okay.
I would love to see your Pinterest board. So I'd like to, just if you want to show it to me, then also if you'll share it with me,
Yeah,
to my
yeah, definitely.
events Pinterest, then I can definitely kind of dive into it, look through it. What we'll do is sometimes, and I haven't seen yours yet, but sometimes what will happen is we'll see themes throughout. It might be like all one look. Sometimes we'll have 2 or 3 looks going on, and then I can dissect it and kind of pick it apart and talk to you about it.
Yeah, that's kind of mine, I feel like.
Okay,
Like all over
perfect.
the place.
Okay, great.
Let's see. So like this, I love like those bright
Okay.
flowers that are on the like table.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at what she's looking at right now. It's all very similar to that, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's great. That's perfect. Then we'll be able to know like um a lot of aesthetics are going to work with that, especially in the Caribbean, but I'll just keep that in mind because I want to make sure wherever we pick. Oh yeah, I love that. That is going to be
Yeah, it's so
so
pretty.
beautiful. Can you think
Yeah.
of the ocean behind that with all those beautiful colors?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
It would be
that's
so
going to be
amazing.
gorgeous. Okay. Great. One of the next questions I'm going to have is most resorts, and we talked about this in the rules, if you will, are going to require a 3 night minimum. Do you think guests are going to want to stay more than that? Because when we go to negotiate the contract, if we're like, we need to do 4 nights or 5 nights, we need to kind of take that into consideration.
yeah. So that's something I could talk to kind of like extended people about. But we were gonna do or yeah, we're planning on try to have our like wedding party show up maybe a couple days before and do maybe like a 5 night stay or something to do a combined bachelorette party.
Fabulous.
So we're all together. I think there'd be 14 of us, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, so 14 to like 20 of us go early for sure. But then I can also check with my family though, because I know some of my extended family, like aunts, uncles, and their families might want to kind of just make a whole vacation out of it. So what would that look like? Would one be harder than the other? Or how would that change things?
No, so here's what I want you to do. Will you put together for me, and this I was going to ask at the end of the call, but let's talk about this. I want you to go and put a guest list together for me. I'm going to send you our template to put that together on. The reason we like you to use our template is then we make sure that things are how they should be, meaning like the Mrs., Mr., things like that, or Miss, or no name. Because in today's world, we have to be careful with that sometimes. And so we want to make sure that you are writing it exactly how you want the invitations to go out based on how you know the people, right? So we'll send you our list for you to be able to fill in. And we'll have the address slots, all of that fun stuff. So once it's one and done, you don't have to worry about it again, except for if you want to make changes, eventually, you can do that as well. The nice thing is you have access to it at all times. So that is a nice thing. So I'm going to send that to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a column, which is typically not on there, but it's going to be a column where I'm going to want you to put like 3 nights, 4 nights, 5 nights. It's going to give me a good idea of what I need to contract. If the majority of people are 3 nights, then we'll contract 3 nights with a plus and minus. This is where destination comes into play because they know how to work all of these things out for us. And then we'll do it based on the numbers. One thing I will do is I will go a little lower than the number you're giving to me for attrition purposes, which we can get into. But attrition, what it means is that if we say we're going to pick up 40 rooms, we need to pick up 40 rooms. And we don't want to run into a situation where we have to pay out the hotel because we have not run into those rooms or use those rooms. Okay. So we will base their numbers on our knowledge based on what your list looks like about what we feel will actually happen based on your list. Okay. So I'll send that over to you. That will be your first piece of homework. I know we don't have a location yet, that's usually a second piece of homework, right? But for this case, I'm going to have you start with that so that we can make sure we're navigating the locations correctly. Okay. Perfect. Great. Okay, so we know we're probably somewhere between 75 and 100 people. We kind of know the aesthetics look with, the bright, fun colors, the age group, which I think is great. for your rooms, do you think most people are going to want king beds, double queen beds? Would you like a combination thereof?
Probably a combination.
Yeah, probably a combination.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of couples, but then also like families that'll want a couple beds. But yeah, I'd say a combination would be perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll work through that as well. Great. Okay, so as part of the contest, yay, you do get have the rehearsal the night before, and then also the wedding the day of, and there's certain aspects that go with it. So one thing that I do want to talk through with you, and I'm probably putting you a little bit on, like just kind of catching you off guard right now. So know that I know that. But I do know that we have talked about when when you won the contest and we had our conversation that flowers are really important to you. And there is probably going to be a higher budget for the flowers than the contest allows. So do you guys have a budget in mind of like money that you want to put into the wedding or not? Just so I know, because I want to make sure when we're looking at venues, some venues have preferred vendors that you have to use and things like that. So I want to make sure I'm staying within that market, the market for the increase.
Yeah. I think we were talking like keep it between, if we do extra, like 5,000 to like top 10,000.
Okay, that's perfect.
Is that realistic, or should we up it a little bit more?
For decor, yes, I think that's realistic because there are some pieces that are already included in the contest. If I was talking to a client, who had just called in, it would depend on their aesthetics and what they were looking for. But for the fact that you already have some included, the other thing we can do is, once we put a whole board together, a whole look for you, if it's not fitting within that and we want to maneuver it, we can. We're not going to sign on any dotted lines on any extras until you've signed off on it. Okay, perfect. The other thing we will want, it's something that you have told me, and I'll put this into the timeline, that bachelorette, party. We're going to want to make sure that that gets planned in. That's not included, but we can work, to get you some discounts on all that fun stuff. And we'll have Mark help do that with Destination Inspiration. Okay.
Can you hear me?
No, but yeah, lean a little closer.
So what we were kind of thinking for our bachelorette, was hopefully maybe like a yacht, not a yacht, but like some kind of boat or something with all of us on it for like a day. And so yeah, we would be willing to pay extra for that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, we'll make our wedding party trip into
that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And that's usually the case. That does usually happen. Okay, so renting like a boat and going out in the water, maybe doing some snorkeling or some well watching, all those fun things.
Excursion day for everybody.
Yeah.
So fun. Yes. We did that at a wedding in Costa Rica several years ago, and I didn't go, but when the guests came back, they said it was amazing. So I think that's a great idea. So we'll definitely look at, factoring that into the timeline of the events. Okay. Perfect. Okay, great. So this gives me enough information to start on. Now let's talk through next steps. So what's going to happen from here is, of course, we have next week the contest with the locations, so the countries will go live. It will be a 2-week process of people voting on those countries. We will be able to watch and kind of see where the votes are coming in. Based on the information that you've given me today, I will start reaching out to properties. I have some already in mind based on what you've told me that I will reach out to and see what availability is. I do have a question. We talked about February, early March. Let's say that there's a location that we can only do April or May. Is that something you're open to?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long, I mean, like February, March was like our early.
Yeah.
So I mean, after that's good too. We just got to get our stuff together. So.
Okay. Well, and that's perfect. That helps me know, because one thing I don't want to do is like, so a lot of times Caribbean properties can book out a year in advance. And so I don't want to like throw something out because they're not available on those particular dates and then have like this absolutely, it could be the perfect spot for you out of the mix because it wasn't available on those dates. So that's great to know you have flexibility. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Fully open on the date whenever.
Okay, perfect. And of course, we will work that out with you, based on the location that gets selected. So again, what we'll do is once the country is selected, then we'll present 3 properties in that country to you that then again, the viewers get to vote on. So you don't have a lot of control over this, except for maybe some comments that you make that, we'll put out via these kind of conversations that we're having. What will also happen, so typically what I would do is I create a planning timeline, and that planning timeline goes through every single thing that we are looking at that needs to happen for the wedding. So like from invitations to save the dates to a website, so all of those kind of things. So I will start to build that out for you. You'll have access to it at all times. You are welcome to share it with anybody that you want to share it with. However, know that then they have the information, they know what's happening. So that's completely up to you. But there are some places in there where we don't allow people to have control of. The reason being is I have had people erase things before and it was like vital information. So while we do, while I can go back and find it because we do keep separate notes, I just don't want something getting changed and you guys didn't realize it was being changed either. So there are spots that once we put something in, it gets locked into place unless we go in and change it, just to give you some inside information.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, sounds like
Okay, great. Perfect. With the decor, what will happen is once we've selected a location, then we'll go through and start putting boards together, and put presentations together for you. So we make sure that it is the aesthetics that you want. Now, again, the viewers get to vote on the decor. And so we'll do like 3 arches and then they get to choose which arch. And again, we'll make sure because the arch that is in the contest has very few florals in it. And I know that's important to you. So that will probably be something that then we'll also put a price point into for you before, since you are paying for that. So you can say, yes, have the voters view on this, or no, don't have the voters view on this one.
Okay.
Okay. What questions do you have for me so far?
Yeah, I think we've covered all our main questions up to this point. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what will happen is next week, when the voting goes live for the countries, we will put that out. This video will go out afterwards because we do want to share like the planning process with the viewers. And again, this is not quite the normal planning process because I would typically be doing a little more deep diving, but I just wanted viewers to see what it's like, to be able to go through the planning process of planning a destination wedding. Because I don't think it's as hard as people think it is, especially when you have a planning team and a, destination, team involved. So just to give you some insight to what's going to happen. So I'm excited, you guys, this is going to be so fun. I can't wait to see what country people pick.
I know, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, it's kind of fun, right? Because it's a surprise to you at every turn. You get some surprises, which I think is really fun.
Yeah. We're also like not too picky, so I feel like this is like awesome.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not hoping for some particular thing. And if the subscribers, voters view on something else, vote on it, you'll be like, oh, wait, what just happened here?
Yeah.
Which is good. Yep. The one thing I can promise you, though, is that I think is important. This is your wedding. So while people do get to vote on it, we will make sure it's things that are in your aesthetics, locations that work for your group. So I'm probably going to look at a resort that is kid friendly. And we can just say that the wedding part of it is, not under 10, but we also can have kids on property. And most resorts mean kids are 18 and under. For what they are, that's when it changes into an adults resort. So we'll definitely look through that as we're looking at the resorts. And I have some great ideas in mind based on that conversation.
Okay.
Well, also, if you find a place that is absolutely amazing, we don't need to have kids.
Yeah, there's like very few kids.
It's not a lot. Yeah.
We'll have events for a wedding with them.
Yeah.
Really. So if it is like 18 plus or whatever, then
that's okay.
Fine too.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. We will definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because there is a place in Mexico, and I know Mexico's on the list, that is like a really stunning location for a ceremony that is an adults only place. I won't tell you what it is right now because I want to see what people vote on first. So I am going to ask you a question because this video is going to go out after we've launched the countries. So do you guys have any insights into what countries, so the viewers know, do you have a top choice or top 3 choices?
Great. It's so beautiful, but you'd want to throw Mexico in there, just I don't know. Yeah, it'd be kind of the easiest to plan, I think, and get to for everybody because we have people coming from out of state. I I think Belize would be very cool just because never been there. A lot of people have never been there, and it looks beautiful.
I think Costa Rica.
Yeah, Costa Rica
would be amazing.
So I mean, those two would be amazing, but just farther. But I don't know. That's what I mean. We're very torn. Jamaica also we've never been to and would love to go to. I'd say those would be our top 4. I don't think we have a top 3 though.
Okay, it sounds like almost any of them will work for you. Dominican Republic is the one that you have not mentioned, which is kind of a hot spot right now and is gorgeous as well. So it sounds like any of them would work. So there's really not a top one.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. We love Dominican Republic. We've just been there a bunch. So I think it'd be kind of fun to go somewhere new or I don't know. Dominican I do love. So that's what I mean. We're torn. They all are great. So really depends on like if there's a certain venue or place that'd be, more beautiful for us to get married at or but I think anywhere would be amazing.
Well, all 5 of these countries have absolutely beautiful venues, so I don't think you can go wrong with any of these countries, which is a good thing. As far as that comment is, it kind of sounds like, and I'm kind of sharing a piece of information with viewers that we probably shouldn't, but kind of, giving them a little tidbit. Dominican Republic sounds like it's the 5th on the list, so maybe that's not the highest priority for you. And then the others you're kind of open to.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Oh, great.
Sorry,
well,
we've been talking about this a ton and we can't figure it out. Yeah.
Well, the good news is in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, you will know what country your wedding is going to take place in. And from there, then we can find the venue and you guys can then the viewers can figure out what 3 venues and then we are off and planning.
Yeah. Thank you, voters, for getting rid of our indecisiveness here.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about calling and saying, which country do we want to have a wedding in? They get to choose that for you. Okay, perfect. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. I am so excited to plan your wedding. This is going to be so much fun. As I said, we will get the dog. And what is the dog's name?
It's Aladar.
Aladar. Okay, we will get the dog incorporated in some really fun and cute way because I think that's important. I know that he's very important to you. So, okay, perfect.
To be on our lap the whole call.
Yes, that's good. So we'll know that that's the mascot. We'll definitely, have Aladar included.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yep, perfect. All right, guys, I am so excited. Have a fabulous day. I have enough information to get started on locations. I'm going to search locations in all 5 countries right now so that when we do decide when we find out what the voters have decided, that we will be able to then present the 3 in whichever country is chosen. Okay. Okay. All right. Call me with any questions, of course, in the meantime. That is one thing about a planner. We're open to you when you need. As you know, we do take, time off. And so just kind of work around our schedule, but you can text me or call me whenever you need anything.
Hey, sounds good. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
Have a good weekend.